What is up, guys? It's Tony here, and today we are doing a real-life video. This is just a random video on the weekend, and today this is a interesting video. I think some of you guys will enjoy this, some of you guys won't give a shit at all. But it's basically a video idea that I got from a different channel. Some guy did a what's in my equipment bag video type of thing, where he went through his camera bag and he went through his other bag, which had his camera and his computer and editing equipment. So I thought it would be interesting to do the same thing, since I'm sitting here right now planning out what I'm going to bring with me on my little trip to Arizona with my family. So I thought, why not go ahead and basically show you guys what I bring on a typical trip, where I'm going to be recording with a high-quality camera, editing with this camera, and also making videos for you guys, so you guys have footage coming up from my my trip, if you will, while I'm away from YouTube and my home and my real editing computer over here, my rig. So today we're going to go ahead and start off by looking at the backpack. My backpack's basically my carry-on bag when I'm on an airplane, and I usually put my computer, my other computer, peripherals inside of this bag. And this is actually a really nice bag. This is a Swiss Gear bag. It's a sort of like athletic, mountain climbing, fishing, swimming, all-purpose sport bag that has like waterproof features, which is really good when you're carrying around a computer and a lot of electronic equipment that's sensitive to those types of things. So first off, in the front, the front bag, it's just usually like these types of things like deodorant. I think I have a razor in here, and I should have a toothbrush in there somewhere and sunglasses. Typical stuff that you would just bring if you were just a normal Joe going on a trip. I mean, just because I do a lot of computer things doesn't mean I'm not normal. I actually do bring typical shit. I also have my next pouch, which is pretty much all wires. Tons of chargers for different devices. It's always important to have those things so they don't die on you, because these things don't last weeks. They last hours for the most part. And my next pouch is usually just stuff to do, because it's a carry-on bag on the plane, so I'll bring a Game Informer magazine, I'll bring a book, I'll also bring, of course, the iPad. Everyone knows about this. iPads are like the best thing ever for, or any tablet, the best thing ever for being on a plane or waiting in a doctor's office. It's just, the best time passer. And I also think I have some peripherals in here for my computer, like a portable mouse. This, to all you editors out there, I know there's a lot that watch my videos, if you're going on a trip and you plan on editing in the hotel room, you have a laptop, and you're not used to not, being able to have a keyboard set up and stuff if you're doing that, you should definitely invest in a USB connectivity mouse that uses Bluetooth, I believe. This uses Bluetooth, I think. Or is it IR? I'm not sure. But yeah, a mouse is a must when editing because, I mean, some people use the trackpad and they like it, but I need the mouse. I really do. In my main pouch here is where all the important equipment is. For one, there's the MacBook Pro 15-inch. This is top of the line. I mean, whenever you get a laptop and you want to edit on it, just invest all your money into it and have a real powerhouse laptop laying around. This thing is pretty beefy in terms of the specs. I can give you something like 16 gigabytes of RAM, quad-core i7, top-of-the-line i7, and I believe it also has a 675M GPU, or is it a 685? One of those two. It's a really beefy GPU as well. Good for gaming, actually. The other thing is the recording headset, which is basically a pair of Turtle Beach X11s. It's a good portable headset to record with that has a very nice mic on it that actually sounds pretty good. It's good for doing voiceovers and commentaries of any sort. And it's a really nice headset as well, because it's really good for audio, just listening to music and editing and things like that. Speaking of headsets, I also have another headset I bring with me. This is my Turtle Beach. I almost said Turtle Beach. Parrot Zeek headset. Much higher quality than a Turtle Beach. This is better than your Bose. This is better than your Beats by Dre. It is a great wireless Bluetooth headset that gives amazing audio quality, and it's pretty much the best headset to have on a plane, especially because the noise canceling is superb. You wouldn't even know you were on a plane. You just pop on some, nice soothing music and you fall asleep pretty much. Other things I got in here, I believe I have some, there's like a little pouch here where I have some headphones, a car charger, of course, with headphones wrapped around it, and some USB drives and some SD drives, which I would recommend having a few SD discs laying around, or SD cards, I should say, and a USB drive laying around, because those two things could be pretty vital when you are trying to transfer files from computer to computer, if you're there with someone else with a computer, or if you're trying to just store files in case something happens to your computer, etc., etc. It's really good to have some sort of backup wherever you go on vacation. So, that is the backpack pretty much done. So the next thing we're going to talk about is something that a lot of you guys know is new to me. This is a camera bag. Before I got this, I used to just bring my iPhone, which I'm recording with right now. It's just sitting on top of my tripod, ironically, because my Flip Minnow, which is my video recording camera, which is the other thing I would bring with me, is dead. It's just dead. It's not working. I'm a little frustrated about that. I was trying to record earlier with it, and it just kept stopping randomly. But this is the pretty much the replacement for my iPhone and for my Flip Minnow, because to be honest, this thing does amazing video and still images. But I'll still use my iPhone, as you can see. But this is the Canon bag for Canon. Well, it's not really for Canon cameras. You can use it with anything, but it's pretty good for representing that you have a Canon brand camera. I'm very proud of that, because I think Canon's personally, I might sort of flame more over this, but I think it's personally better for video, which is what I'm mainly into. So the first thing on the side here, we're going to go through these pouches. When you open this up, you're going to find one of these. Many of you guys might not know what that is. This is actually to blow air. You kind of just, palm it, and then you blow air. It's very, suggestive looking. It's kind of weird, but it's basically to get air into the sensor, so you're not using your mouth and getting, spit all over the sensor, which is good for cleaning your camera. My T4i, I think, has sensor cleaning, but sometimes it doesn't work that great. The other thing I have is a tulip lens hood by Bauer, who also made my tripod, which is interesting. I wonder if that'll focus automatically. Come on, iPhone. Come on, it's not doing it. But it's a really nice tulip hood, 58mm for the T4i. Check it out. I really don't use it that often because I have different lens hoods on my camera and my lenses, which I'll show you guys in a moment. And in this other pouch, I'm not even sure what I have in here. Oh yeah, this is my charger, which is just for charging Canon batteries for Canon cameras. And speaking of, batteries and charging, I also have one 9-volt by Energizer in here, which is for some equipment that uses 9 volts in here, which I'll show you in a moment. And there's also another 2-pack of 9 volts in here somewhere. There it is. I really didn't have to get it out, but I'll show you it anyway. There's a 2-pack. Brand new, never opened. And my Canon charger fell out, so I'll just put that aside to cut some of the slack off of this video. So now we're going to go into the main camera bag portion. It flips up, and you unzip it, wrong side. And I'm doing this all wrong, but we'll get there eventually. When you open this up, on top there's a pouch here. We'll get to that in a moment. And inside you're going to see a lot of different things. I'm just going to pull them out one by one. You saw inside. So the first thing we have in there is my camera, which we'll just pull out, which has the Canon EOS strap on it. And it's basically the T4i vanilla. It even has the original lens on it, the kit lens, which is 18 to 55 mil, which is a pretty good, in my opinion, wide-angle lens with a zoom feature, which is kind of cool. So I'll use it sometimes just to have a better wide-angle lens. It also has a lens hood on it, which I believe is made by some no-name brand, Photodiox. That might be a bigger brand than I thought. And yeah, so that's just chilling in there with the camera strap. I'm going to put it aside to make this easier on me, so I don't double up and be here's my camera again. But for the camera itself, I also have a much bigger lens. In fact, when you extend it fully and you get this thing going, it's pretty freaking huge. That's what she said. And this is actually a 75 to 300 mil lens, which is really nice for getting those good zoom shots. And it's also, at 75 mils, it's really not that far into the spectrum to where you can actually record pretty close up as well. You can see I have no lens cap on it. I think you can see it. And that's because it has a massive lens hood on it. This lens hood goes about 2 inches deep, and it's a really nice lens hood, once again by Photodiox, I believe. So same company, same type of lens hood, and it works really nice. Put that aside once again. The next thing I have in here is actually starting to get into the video equipment, which is mostly why I don't have any crazy macro lenses. It's because I'm mostly into video. And this is a Rode shotgun. I believe it's called the VideoMic Pro. And it's a really nice, I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, all of the cool kids have it. But it really does work well, and I've heard really good things about it, so I decided to grab it for myself. And it's basically a really nice shotgun mic, which is directional. So if I shoot this at you, I'll hear you guys. Obviously I won't because you're not there. But if I turn that to the left, I won't hear you guys. I'll only hear what's over here, which is really nice for doing any sort of video vlogging, in my opinion, because you don't get like, you know, a ton of like cars and ambiance. And there's also a lot of settings in the back, which is really cool. But this isn't a review, so let's move on here. So next up we have the mini tripod, which I really don't use much for this camera particularly. It's more for my Flip Minnow, which I do bring with me sometimes. And it's actually pretty decent for doing quick shots while bracing the camera, because it's not that hefty. But it's a little mini tripod. It's really good just for steadying the camera on a table while taking a shot of some sort of, you know, device, some technology that I'm trying to get close-ups of. So this is really good for that, but I don't use it very much. And it actually does extend a little bit, not too much, but it's pretty cool. I'll show you guys my main tripod in a moment. I think I've said that already. So over here I have some filters, and I'm not sure which ones these are. These are the UV filters, which basically negatize any sort of bright light or dark light. It brightens or darkens your image slightly and counteracts UV light, which is pretty good. You know, I kind of just picked this up because why not have it? And it's by Polaroid. It's a good brand, and I got a good price on it. You can see Polaroid there. And at the same time, you know, it's just worth having just because. The other thing I have here, now I know what these are. These are my macro filters, which are insane. There's actually 3 of them in there, it looks like, because I actually have 2 of them together. You can double them up, and they basically magnify your image slightly. So if you can't focus that close with your lens, you simply move back a bit, focus on it, and then you magnify the image, and it gives you the effect that you are using a macro lens. If you know what a macro lens is, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're probably confused. But basically, a macro lens is where you can get really close-up images, and it's really cool to have these because they pretty much cut the cost of getting a macro lens down by a lot of Benjamins. And over here we have the pouch I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to go through this real quick. I really don't want to take a lot of this out. There's a lot of like lens caps for the body and things like that that I never use because I always have a lens on the camera. The stock battery that came with the camera, and I actually have the what is it called? Like the extra capacity battery that was on Amazon, and I got like 2 of them. One of them's in my camera currently, so I have a few spare batteries. A lot of microfibers in there, which are good for the lens. I also have a infrared remote, which is good for taking shots when far away from the camera, or when you're on a tripod and you want to simply just not move around the camera too much. There's some lens like holders, those strings. There's a brush in here, which is good for brushing dust off of the lens, and a lot of other junk in there that I really don't want to go through right now. And then I think there's one more thing we got to look at, which is these front pockets, which I have. I don't know why these came with a cleaning kit. They're Q-tips. I guess they're good for cleaning the lens, maybe. There's also a bit of lens cleaning fluid, which to me it's probably just water or Windex, watered down Windex maybe. So it's probably nothing special, but I use it sometimes to clean the lens when there's some really bad smudges on there, and they're kind of hard to get off with just a brush. So that's it. That's pretty much all I got to look at today in terms of my bags, I believe. I guess one last thing I could show you, if you guys are camera buffs and you're just wondering, I have a Let me pull it out. 32 gigabyte, 30 megabyte per second SD card by SanDisk. It's a pretty good SD card, and it serves me well. I want to get another one of the same card to have a backup to have, or just one where I can have one in the computer, one in the camera, and switch back and forth. It gives me better workflow, I think. But anyway, I don't know how long this video is. It seems like it's been very long. I'm trying to look in the mirror to see what the length is. It's probably up there. But I think it was a pretty entertaining video. I'm sure some of the the tech buffs who are just looking around the web for this are going to be interested in what equipment I have. I know it's not really too high horse. It's not like I have like a 5D or a 7D or something like that. I'm just more consumer level, and it's mostly just because I do this stuff for fun. I'm not really making a huge career out of this yet. So yeah, this is my quick video on what my camera and editing equipment is and what I bring with me in my bags. I'm making sure I'm going to title this. I'll figure it out. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, and I guess there's one last thing I'll show you before we go. I completely forgot about it. This is the tripod I use, which I just had my iPhone resting on. This is a Bauer tripod, and it's really nice. It goes up to 72 inches, and it's a pretty heavy, sturdy tripod. I only have one complaint about it. There was a little hook down here, if you can see that, and it allows you to like hang your camera bag off of it, and it snapped. So that's one thing I don't like about it, but I'm sure it's something that you can kind of just deal with by not putting things that heavy on it. But regardless, it's a nice tripod, and that is my video. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like and a comment. And if you have any other suggestions, maybe for a review of any of these products laying on the floor, which they probably shouldn't be, go ahead and comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.